Hey guys, I'm here to show a little flip through of my mini book I made for the mini challenge on the Foxy Creations Facebook site. It's sponsored by Tracy Fox. She challenged us to make something mini. So I really wasn't going to do it because mini is not my thing. I have a hard time dealing with these little pieces. But I found this little book cover in my stash. I had rated the pages for something else. So I thought, you know, why not give it a try? So I did. And I closed it with just a plain hair tie that I put a bead dangle on. So that was easy enough to close that. For the front and the back, this is just a collage sheet that I had made up, like a master one, and had printed it out so it's all one piece of paper and it's flat. So that makes a good backing, and I just put a piece of it on the front and thought, well, I'll go from there deciding what else to decorate it with. Well, I looked here and I saw that they had that publisher there. And I thought, you know, why don't I do a book theme mini book? So that's what I did. And digging through my stash, I found this little book die that I had made up. And I'll show you about that in just a minute. But I backed it with this little square of paper that I punched out with this punch here. It's called the Stacking Fancy Square. And, you know, I only have one of them, so I can't stack them. But I got that at Hobby Lobby. And then, so that's backing, just so that the book won't get lost on the collage paper. Then I added a little butterfly, which I had that punched too from Hobby Lobby. All right, let's take a look inside here. I made a pocket out of this bias tape and added some trim. And inside of it are these little dies. And they're of tags. And then I had made a little envelope just out of scrap paper. I folded it, inked it up, and stapled it. And then that's in the little pocket. Now, these dies and these books dies were made by this contraption. And I know you guys, probably most of you or some of you will remember this thing. Quickutz. It was a die cutter. And came out, you know, during the scrapbooking craze, and used these little metal dies, I think is what they're called, to cut the shapes. Like here's a star, that's a rosebud, a leaf, and right here is part of a book. It was a two-piece one, and this is just part of it. You'll see this in a minute. But anyway, I think this kind of died out. I'm sure you can't buy it anymore unless it's, you know, eBay or something, because these are such little bitty things that, you know, when you have a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, a page layout, these don't really work too well with that. So anyway, but I still have it. I've got a bunch of dies, a bunch of alphabets, and it's just in my closet. I dig it out every once in a while, but it was perfect for this little challenge. So anyway, that's where I got these books at. Okay, so here's another book, and you know, you have to have your reading glasses, so there's your reading glasses. And here are two little tags that I just glued one on top of the other, and I had this in my stash. Can you imagine me saving something that little in my stash? But I did. So there's that book. And then basically this little mini book is just made up of a bunch of blank pages, and every once in a while I have a little tuck made out of these book dies. I have three different styles, the one on the front, this one, and then I'll show you the third one in a minute. And that's just a little tag. It was in my stash with those other two. And this one is actually the top of a stocking. One of these dies I have is a stocking, and this is the top of it. I think it also comes with this die, like the little toe piece and a little heel piece, but I thought, you know, that makes a kind of a cute little tag, so I even used it as a tag instead of a stocking. So stuff it in there. Okay, blank pages. It's just coffee dyed paper and then scrapbook paper. There's another book and a bigger tag, and then this. Yeah, I thought, why not make one of these? It's one of those little tags, you know, that folds out like that. And I thought, you know, you can do a little bit of writing if you have a fine point pen, but that has a name associated with it, but I don't remember who it was. So you may not want to be associated with that one. Coffee dyed paper. This is coffee dyed ledger paper. And some more scrapbook paper, I believe. Okay, another book tuck, and then it's just a circle cut out using the Quickutz. Here's the other book die, and that's the one I was showing you. This one here, that's the back of it, like the red and the blue. And then this other piece is on another die, and I just put those squiggly lines to be pages. And I have a circled tag for the Quickutz, and then here's another little tag I just made. And this little circle is my 1-inch punch. This is the second signature. Very similar to the first one, same sort of pages. I did put an index card on this side just to experiment with the size. Here's another little group of mini tags that were in my stash. And the colors were actually good too with this. And let's see. Here's a book tuck, and I had this in my stash. It reminded me of a postcard or something, so I put it in there. And then another little envelope, and then I have a little postage thing I stuck on the back of it because it was on some junk mail I got. So I cut it out and glued it on there. Okay. Square tag. This is like the front of the pages. I just had an extra one, so I put it there. And then on the back here, I included some scissors and glue because you know you're going to need, if you're doing junk journals, you're going to need those. So putting those in the pocket. And then I found this on a book cover, St. Martin's Press. Colors green was going well with my book, and it's also the same publisher as what's on the front. So you can write on the back of that. So I just put it in here as a little journaling spot. So anyway, that's the mini journal. So thanks for watching. It may be for sale on my Etsy shop, Books by Burke. So you might check that out if you're interested. So thanks for watching. Bye.